So new project. So I'm going with an empty activity.
Okay.
Just I'm writing as a frag example. So it's I'm creating in Java. So once this project has opened, so what I'll do is it's just a very basic program in a fragment. Using fragment, how to replace with the multiple things into the single page that we will see here.
Okay.
So just I'm selecting like this. It is an activity. So in this activity, I want to split this into two parts.
Okay.
So below one is the fragment. This is a fragment. This is one activity. So again in this activity, there is one button. Here is the button. So when I click on this button, I want to replace the some content from fragment. See, once I click on this button, here I have, this is the fragment one. I want to replace this. Again, just I write complete this. So again in this, there is a different button. Like this. So when I click on this button, here, this yellow as replaced by this color. Yellow as replaced by this one. And when I click on this button, same yellow as replaced by this color, whatever we have here color. We'll
Okay.
fill this with some color. This one means one by one fragment data. Whenever it's required, that fragment in we are writing separately and we have to. Again, when I click on this, again back to it goes to this new activity.
Yeah.
This program sample program will do this here.
Okay.
So for this, so project is ready. Okay. So now first in my activity, just I want to split my screen into two equal parts. So I think already you are aware of this layout.
Your voice is breaking in between.
Yes. Yeah, now it's clear.
Yeah, like sometimes in between it's
Okay, fine. So now I want to split my activity into two parts. So how can I do? How can I split my activity into two parts? It equalize. I think you are already aware of that.
Pardon
In
me,
XML, how to?
my activity into two parts.
Yes, exactly equal. Just I write it randomly, but I want two equal parts, 50-50 height wise.
Okay.
So using linear layout,
Layout.
I split my activity into two equal parts with property of weight. So if you use a weight property, it can be divided into percentage wise.
Yeah.
So that we will do here. Just a minute, still this project is loading because just I started my laptop. Initially when we start, it will take a little bit time.
Yeah. So, but if there are only two parts, right? Two views in the linear layout, even if you don't put represent give the weight, it'll anyway by default be 50-50, right?
No, not 50-50. If it is only the top button, I have only the button. If it is a button, only it will occupy my wrap content. See, without weight property, I'll show you. With weight property, I'll show you. Both of the case, I'll show you. See, just you can observe the difference, what happens.
Yeah, I think you are right. Without the weight, it will
Yes.
just
Yeah.
take whatever a wrap content or parent, right? Same as match parent or one of those.
Yes.
Depending on what we give.
Yes. See here. Now this constraint layout too, I'm changing as a linear layout.
So why not use a constraint layout?
Yeah, constraint layout also you can use, but here it depends on the design.
Okay.
So here my design, I want to design only this basic design that I want this. When I go more designs, that we can change as like this. So here I want orientation as vertical because I want to align the components from top to bottom. So here I create one more inner linear layout. So match parent, height as our wrap content, and I'll give some background color as well for this background color, primary dark. Okay, then orientation. I need orientation as, again I'll give vertical. So
yeah,
I kept like this. See, I need here one more button to click on that. So button, match parent wrap content, and here text of the button, call frag1. Just I want to call the fragment one. Just I write the text as this. See, I'm not applying any other property, just I'm giving the basic. See how much space it is occupied. Now, same I want one more linear layout here. Match parent, wrap content, and some background color.
you need to
So
remove the constraints, right? Constraint bottom.
No, this is not constraint layout, right? This is linear layout.
Yeah. So for text, hello world text view, you need to remove all those because initially it was constraint layout by default. So all those things came.
Yes. Will align. Just first time I want to concentrate two linear layouts, then I'll come there.
Okay.
See, two linear layouts are created. In between here, second linear layout, I have the frame layout. So this frame layout should be match parent and match parent. And this for this I need one ID as well. Frame. See now here this second linear layout we changed as a match parent wrap content. See now there is no color here for this. For this there is an text and there is an button, so it has some color. So now what we'll do is I'll apply here one property that is weight. Weight one. See weight one, it's applied 100%. Now here I applied weight one. See now 50-50. It's split it automatically into 50-50. Like this, I want this.
Once again, why do you have two linear layouts? You can have two text views, right? In one linear layout, parent will be the linear layout, and we can have two text views, right?
Not two text views here. I want to split second part with frame layout. The second part I want to replace by the fragment data.
Okay. No, my
See
question
here,
is
what I design. What?
Yeah, this right. This is what you are trying, right? So I'm saying you can have one
Yes.
parent layout, right? The first portion, the green box, can be one view, right? Let's say one view, and the second one can be another view within the linear layout, and each of them can have weight one, right? Then that should be enough, right? Why do you have to have two linear layouts, like linear layout inside a linear layout? So this one I'm
So
talking.
just want to differentiate. Yes,
Yeah.
just want to differentiate the background color and these different properties. Just I want to differentiate that differentiate the views colors and all.
Mm.
So that's why I kept like this.
Okay. What I am asking is, why do you need to have the second linear layout? Instead, we can have this frame layout as a child under the parent linear layout, right? That's what I'm asking.
Here, see here, if you want this, you can this you can manage with only with this also. But what happens when fragment is loaded? If fragment data is less, that fragment color can be applicable, but I want to show the difference between this. Just while running, I'll remove this. I'll show you there. I'll clarify your doubt. Okay.
Okay. All right.
What happens if it is a linear layout? How is the view? If it without linear layout, how is the view? I'll show you
Okay.
there.
Sure.
Okay. Then after this here now, just I want to write the functionality for this. So if it is
So
yes,
for frame, basically we are using frame layout wherever we need to have like a fragment or some kind of space on the screen. We need to occupy some space on the screen which is going to be loaded by a fragment, right? So that's when we use the frame
yes, yes, exactly. So now here I want to write the functionality for this button. So whenever we want to write the functionality for this button, here it's
layout.
required some ID. So just I'm giving this ID as the BT1. Just I'm giving BT1. So now right now in this program, just I'm going it the normal way because there is another concept data binding also. Once we'll cover basic things, you can understand that. Because of that, just I'm going with in a basic way. Button just I'm declaration of the button here. After that, we need to initialize the button because the button view should be in a different place. Here we are using that button. So because of that, we need to initialize with reference of the ID. So they will given as a BT1. So with reference of that, we are giving. After that, I'm applying the listener for this button. So
Okay.
that is normal listener, set on click listener.
Yeah, Raj, I
So
have
just I gave this.
one request for you. Can we write the code in Kotlin, because that's what we are supposed to be using at work? All the code is at work is in Kotlin.
Yeah, sure, definitely no problem. So same here. This see here. I'll show you one more shortcut key also here. See once sometimes some of the things which is not available in Kotlin support. So sometimes whenever you are facing the issue here, the same code will convert into Kotlin as well. That shortcut key also I'll show you after this program. Anyhow, what you requested from when we start our regular programs, entire thing we'll discuss on a Kotlin itself. Okay, today just after writing this program, I'll show you how to convert this into Kotlin as
Okay. Okay.
so now here. So now what is our intention here? Now we want to replace the fragment data from here. So whenever we are replacing this fragment data, here we need to do the fragment transaction. So this fragment as transaction means if we are replacing some different view into where we are expecting that. So here we are taking the support manager support using this. Just I'm writing this begin transaction.
Yeah. Can you
Basically,
Can you tell me a little
Yes,
bit
yes,
about this fragment manager, the transaction, begin and end transaction, all that?
yes. I'm coming. So here, fragment manager is the predefined class in our Android, and fragment transaction. Fragment transaction is nothing but we are using this fragment transaction. We have multiple actions where we can replace, where we can remove the views, where we can add the views. That all possibilities we can do using the fragment. But right now in this program, we are using replace functionality using the fragment transaction. So this particular portion using the fragment transaction, I want to replace by new content. That is from the fragment where we are declaring this. So
So,
here now,
um, so what does this fragment manager do actually? It takes care of it basically. I'm thinking like there is a stack of all the fragments which is maintained by Android system for each of the projects, applications, Android applications. And this fragment manager, every time we say, so what does it do? How does it maintain the fragment? How does it begin, open it? How is all that maintained?
it's support, yes. It simply it supports all the fragment lifecycle methods. Whatever the fragment lifecycle methods are there, it can be completely taken care by fragment manager itself.
Okay. And
So
why do we
fragment
have to
manager,
begin a transaction? Is it a transaction? It's not a database, right? So why transaction?
it's
What is
not a
it actually?
database. It's a just
Yeah, what is it actually doing
see
when you say?
transaction means here transaction means here we are doing replace, remove, add. So that kind of views here we are doing.
Okay.
Just we are adding the view into the somewhere, and we are replacing the view into same whatever the view is there that we are replacing this view. So that functionalities will do here this.
Okay.
So now after this fragment when the fragment transaction is this, we need one fragment also. So first we need a fragment, then only we can do this. So just here I'm creating this first frag. Just I'm declaring new fragment here. So just I'm declaring something else here. So just I created new fragment. This is simply the one Java class. So
Okay.
once this is available here, now you can do transaction dot. So first we need to here I said here this program we are replacing. So replace where I'm replacing dot id dot. Where is the frame layout is there? The frame layout I'm replacing with. But replacing with what? That is first fragment. The above what is the this first fragment? I'm replacing with that. So then here you can write this transaction dot commit. So this transaction can be committed and this can be closed here. See now here what I'll do is from here I'm creating one new fragment. Just I
Yes.
create one class. The class has created. So make this class as a public and here extends as a fragment. See, in this fragment again there are the different kinds of fragments. See these all are the fragments are this fragment two types fragment app fragment x. So now we are using the x. This one has deprecated. So always you can use the fragment x only. In some class you use this, in some class you use this means also there could be the errors. So always you can check this both classes has the same imports or not. Here also you can check whenever you have it. See here fragment x. Whenever it has a fragment, then you can replace by both. So in this fragment, once we extended as a fragment, here like in our onCreate method in activity, like same here, data can be loaded into this onCreate view. Remaining all can be background, but here we need this onCreate view method. So this onCreate view as here three returnable items. One is the layout inflator, other one is the view group, last one is the bundle. So one by one we'll cover here. Just I'll write in the next line. There I'll explain you one by one. Here, see.
Okay.
Here I'm creating some view. So whenever this fragment is there, for that fragment, we need to create a view. So how we create this view? So here, view, something view equal to inflator. So now here inflator. Above there is a layout inflator. So we are using this layout inflator. In that word itself, it is there, layout inflator. Inflate means overlap. Now using this layout inflator, we are inflating somewhere this view with a new existing system. That is, from here, I'm creating one more new, this first XML. This is a new XML file. So this XML file, we are replacing this fragment view. So that is new XML file and view group. What is view group here? View group is here already. It's defined as a container. So just I'm calling with the same container, because this view group is nothing but here in this view group there are the multiple, like I may define one button, two button, three button, or I may define checkbox, I may define something else. So that all could be here. We can write here that. So then after that, false. So here last one is this bundle saved instance state. So this we use normally in our here CM saved instance state and create saved instance state. It can be automatic auto saved here, but here it cannot be auto saved immediately, because wherever the view has created there itself it can be done automatically. Because of that we are calling this initially was the false. Whenever the view has created, that automatically calls that time, but before initially it was in the false. So once we created this,
Can we pause here? The container and the false, I didn't understand. Uh, so on create, this is a method defined by Android, right? It's a default method created by Android, and we have to override this method, right? In
yes,
the fragment,
yes,
right? So
yes,
in this,
yes,
we are going to pass the view group and the bundle. I understood the layout inflator, but view group and the bundle say bundle, right? View group. What does this view group mean? View group is nothing but a group of views, right?
yes, group of views, which we are creating now in a new XML file.
So
So previously it
what
has
is this
already,
container?
already we have one view group, right? Already we have one view group.
Which is activity main, right?
Yes, in activity main, we have some view group where we are replacing, in this view group, we are replacing the new content, right?
Correct.
Here, for this replace of this fragment phase, again here we are creating one more XML. In this
Correct.
XML, whatever the view group you are creating, you can create that.
Okay.
So that view group here we are calling. This container is nothing but just it's a declaration. In container place, just you can write your name also. No problem. This is just it's a declaration.
So when Android calls on create view, right? What is passed into this view group? Variable, for example, Swati, what
This
would be the value inside this Swati?
whatever this is there in the first, what we are going to design in the first, that views will come into this.
So the layout XML layout file for first fragment will be there inside Swati.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So that means normally what we will do when we call the fragment, initially we are saying this false, means until the view as created in a fragment, sorry, XML of main activity, this view it not be created automatically. Because of that we are saying this is a false. Bundle saved instance it means instantly we are not calling this view. Whenever it's required, that time only we are calling. Because of that I am giving the false. Until you calls there, it could not be created the view. So because of that I'll give this a false. Clear? So from here again I'm creating one more XML. So new XML is created. So this XML also, just I want, just in this XML, just I want to go with the linear layout, match parent and match parent. Here I have one text view, match parent, wrap content, and a text, hello, frag1. So we can understand that we are in a fragment one like this. So before that, we need to give the orientation for this. Just I'm giving the vertical. And after that, here I have one button, match parent, wrap content, and ID for this button, VT2, then text, call F2. So fragment, this is. Just I'm defining like this. For this also, I'm giving some background color. Background, just I'll give some random color. So that's what I get. So now after this, here same, I want to call from here again the second fragment.
Yeah.
So here again I'm declaring the button here, button. So here again I'm declaring the button. Equal to here, whenever we are declaring the button in a fragments, we need to refer with the view because it's not in a main activity. So we need to define with based on the view. Like same here again I'm applying the same button dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. So just meanwhile I'll open this emulator. It will take a little bit time. So here now same fragment code I want to copy paste. Just will modify few something here. So here whenever we are calling from the fragment transaction here, it's you are already in a fragment. Directly it call get fragment support. Only the change is one change. Whenever we are calling fragment transaction from the activity, we need a support fragment, and whenever we are in already in the fragment, directly call from the fragment. So instead of this first, I'm changing as a second.
So what is
Just
the
I can
difference
replace
between
here.
fragment manager and fragment support manager?
So fragment manager and fragment support manager both are same, but when we are in already in a fragment, directly you don't need extra support fragment manager. Just you can go with the fragment manager itself.
Okay.
So again here, this is the SEC, but we are replacing with the same fragment frame layout view that we are creating here. This. So again from here, I'm creating one more fragment. So again this extends fragment and all we can create here. This I'm making as a public, and here extends fragment. So extend fragment. Here I'm creating this on create view. So again same here. I'm creating one view here, view here. So inflator dot inflate. So that is r dot layout dot. Here I'm creating this new XML, that is a second XML, and same container. Again same, it is a false. It is a false. So so I'm creating here the same return type as a view. Again I'm creating here same XML. So from this fragment, again the same transaction, but we are calling from here as new activity instead of the fragment. Here we are calling as a activity. So just here this I change as a button 3, and here call activity. Just I'll call like this. Here just I'm changing this text as a flag2. So like this. Now here I'm again declaring the same button. So button, then button equal to find view by ID. Sorry, here it is in a fragment. Find view by ID. That is r.id dot bt3. So then button dot set on click listener, new view dot on click listener. So now here I'm calling from the activity. So activity will call using the intent. So I'm using this new intent. So here we are in a fragment. So instead of this context, we'll call as here get activity. So from here, and I want to call new activity, that is second.
So
Just I'm creating.
When to call context, when to call the activity. Like we could also do something like main activity dot class, right? Instead of get activity.
Yes. Whenever we are in activities, we called as a activity name. Whenever we are in a fragment, we'll call as a get activity.
Okay. And
Now
when
we
do
are in a
use
fragment. From fragment,
when
yes.
do we use the
See,
context?
normally, what we will do is moving in Android is there are a few different types. One is activity to activity 1. Other one is activity to fragment.
Okay.
Next one is the frag to frag, and the last one is the frag to activity. There are 4 different types.
Okay.
So frag to activity. Whenever we are moving this to about to, this to will define as here whatever the class name directly. What you are saying like main activity dot this, class name dot this,
Okay.
class name dot this. And whenever we are moving from here to here, just now we did like a transaction, fragment transaction. But whenever we are moving from fragment to activity, here we have that we are calling this get activity. This get activity is nothing but it's a context only. Get activity, or we can use get context also. Anything you can use. Either you can use get activity or get context. Means fragment is not a activity. So normally what we are doing here in a fragment is nothing but fragment intent. In intent place, this one what we are doing here, just a minute, where we are here. Yeah. So here this first portion of this is here context. Context is nothing but context. Whenever any class, context is also nothing but it's a one class, but that must and should extend as an activity, then only we can say that as a context. But here this is extended as a fragment. Because of that, we are referring this to main activity, because right now in this program we have only one this where we are calling from here. This means whenever we are calling this, that parent can be applicable. Like same, say instead of this main activity, I have one more class that is a parent class xyz. Class name is xyz. When again I'm calling this XYZ in the same fragment, instead of main activity, they could call XYZ activity. Because of that, here we are defining the get activity. Whatever the parent in the where is the place that can be called automatically into that system. That is a normal way it's applicable. So right now, this is this here from again I'm creating active this name of this directly I'm creating one activity here, so that automatically it can create Java as well as XML. So just I'm right clicking here. So new activity. So I'm creating as an empty activity. So I'm replacing with the see, automatically this time it can be called created activity in this. See, in this program, there are the few things whenever we are creating the fragments, those fragments no need to declare in a manifest file, but this whatever the activity we are creating, without activity it's declared in automatically in manifest, but these all are not declared in this here, so that process can be done here. This see, once this is created here, we'll run this program and we'll see this third activity as created here with empty. So for this, just I'll give you only the some background so that we can understand easily. Just I give some image as a background so that just we are moving that not that page, we can understand that. See, once this Gradle has built, we can run this program.
So what does context have? Is it like a global data type? I always get confused. Sometimes we use activity, sometimes we say context. Like what does context have?
Yes, it's a global activity. See, a simple example, I'll say with simple example, Raj is one activity, Swati is one activity.
Okay.
Okay, here I called one more activity name called Srinivas.
Okay.
Srinivas is a fragment and some XYZ is a fragment.
Okay.
So now initially when I'm opening the home page, I'm calling the Srinivas. So now that Srinivas context should be called as a Raj. And when I'm on a second page, I'm calling that is the second page is that is activity. That activity name called the Swati. Again, I'm in a Swati also. I'm calling the fragment. That time it can be instead of Raj, it can be called as a Swati because fragment can act for the parent. Whenever it's an which parent it is called, it refers to that. It's a simply global. Whatever the global class, what you said that exactly correct. What is a global? It can call the global class.
Okay.
So that is so just we'll see this output.
So fragment the context has all information about all the activities, all the fragments, right?
Yes.
And
Depends
also
on because of that we are not defining any specific name.
okay. And also it has information about all the resources, the layout, the colors, styles, everything, right?
Yes, yes. It's running. Once it is run, we'll see here. So this is about the basic fragment program. In this, we can go dynamically. We have a lot of things, other things, but just we define here as a basic thing. So it's installing. So this is the way it's created. So now here I'm calling this call fragment. See this view. Now we are replacing by this different color. Again from here we are replacing by this. So call say second frag 2. Once I'm clicking this, it going back to fragment. See this is the like this. So what you asked your question. So if we go without this, what happens? See here. Now here I'm commenting on this linear layout. So here wrap content and background different color. So now what happens? If it is a frame layout, until the data is loaded into this frame layout, it could not occupy any background color because of it's occupied completely by that. For this, we need to give an await property as well. So normally I use mobile, it will run fast. But today, just because of less charging, I connected with directly emulator. If it is on a mobile, it could be run very fast. So normally every session will go like in this flow only, like whatever last time we discussed theoretical, like theoretical after the theoretical, I'll cover like in this now we covered first program. Like whatever the advanced programs in this completely, we can cover those advanced programs in fragments. Then we can come up with the next like this. So on that way, every program will go normal way. This is.
Okay. Also, what do you suggest, like while you are doing the program, I'll also do on my laptop, or what do you suggest?
No, normal. I like not like that. If it is like that, your concentration should be less. Anyhow, I'll record it. I will record the sessions. So that record I'll give you.
Okay.
Even today also I recorded this session, so that I'll give you. So from there you can access that.
Okay. And also at the end of the session, will you give me some exercises like homework so that I can learn the concepts well?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'll give you exercises. Also, see this is my website. Here a lot of examples it is there. That is AndroIndian. Just I'll give you that link. Wait, this emulator is launching. It's a little bit slow. Just I'll show you that website. Just I'm going to
You also have
structure
like
because of
seminar.
time.
You also have like seminars on apps. Like I see on your website, remind management, finance calculators, upcoming app.
Yes, yes, I have few. See here, same. It's a kind of view, but whenever this activity now we created as a background color. If it is not the background color is not there, then that time this can be occupied by the own color.
Yeah.
So that we can do in a two ways. But there is a small differences are there. It's not a big huge. Depends on this design. We can decide that. We can go either if it is somewhere we can replace by means sometimes we need to indicate to the people this has some extra like here we are replacing by content we need some heading. As of now we go with a similar simple way, but sometimes I need here some heading. This contains like this content like this. That time we need this kind of. Otherwise we can go in a normal way like that.
Okay.
So you already opened my website,
Yeah.
AndroIndian.com. From there just you can click on the tutorials.
Android tutorials. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, these all are the examples we are available in this. Like there is a separate Android and Kotlin with Java and with Kotlin.
Yeah.
Few examples.
Category.
So even though here somewhere tasks, yeah, tasks also there. Here tasks.
So you
These
have
all are
your
the
own.
tasks.
You have your own training company, right?
Yes, I have.
Oh.
So normally for these people I'll get some leads. Also I'll get my own some leads so that I can do that. So even though here this is my YouTube channel in a YouTube also.
Oh.
AndroIndian. Just you can type there AndroIndian.
Okay.
I have like 100 videos. Still I'm uploading few,
Wow.
but in these days a little bit busy and not uploaded. This one, Android tutorial, this one. So I hope you are clear with this session.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Raj.
Yeah, just thank you. Just share your feedback with him so that we can have next schedules.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.